Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat datang di Korkal Siniar di mana semua suara bisa didengar. Tepuk tangannya mana guys? Teman-teman, kali ini kita lagi di studionya Denny Sumargo. Enggak, bercanda ya. Kita ada di salah satu cafe di Samarinda lah. Mungkin kalau kalian pernah kesini mungkin tahu ini ada di mana, tapi nggak usah kita sebutin lah. Tapi ini tempatnya enak gitu. Kalau mau ke sini bisa di sekitaran Jalan Juanda. Oke, teman-teman, setelah sekian lama Korkal Siniar kemarin kita udah ngobrol sama salah satu mahasiswi dari Bontang yang bisa berbicara dalam 5 bahasa. Dan kali ini kita masih mau berbicara tentang bagaimana kita belajar atau menguasai bahasa asing. Seberapa penting, nah itu. Dan juga seberapa berdampak buat kehidupan kita yang ada di Kalimantan Timur, ada di Indonesia. Untuk ngobrolin itu, aku punya satu anak muda yang dia passionate sekali dengan belajar bahasa, ya. Please welcome, ini dia Mas Deren. Aku manggilnya Mas ya, boleh Mas gak sih manggilnya? Bisa pakai ini.
Oh iya, Mas Deren.
Mas Deren.
Bisa Mas Deren.
Oke, Mas Deren. Deren, ini saya mau sambil mengetes juga ya. Aku mau ngetes juga kemampuanku dalam berbahasa asing. Oke?
Ya, siap.
Oke ya.
Siap.
Agak deg-degan. Ini sebenarnya bukan pertama kali guys, karena sebelumnya Korkal Siniar pernah juga ya Le ya. Kita pernah juga bikin episode bahasa Inggris tapi nggak sepanjang itu. Nah ini kita akan coba. Kira-kira Rusdi bisa nggak yang ngomong bahasa Inggris ya? Oke. Deren.
Ya.
Talking about speaking English. In your opinion, how matter atau how hard to learn English?
So obviously the method to learn a language is based on how much resources there are to learn that language. So as an example, if you're talking about like I say Indonesian, even though a lot of people say that Indonesian is like a really easy language to learn because it lacks like the conjugations and all the sorts. If we look at the internet, there would be like almost nothing for us to learn Indonesian. But for English, it's the contrary. Whereas a lot of people are speaking English, it's the lingua franca of the world, as least currently, because in the future maybe it's going to be Chinese. Mm-hmm. In the past it has been French, and then it got replaced by English, and maybe in the future it will be Chinese. But in the meantime, in the status quo, it's English, so we will have far more resources to learn English. So I would actually argue that English is one of the best and easiest language to learn right now because of the abundance and plethora of resources.
Easiest?
Yeah.
As far?
I mean, grammar-wise, it might not seem so easy, but with grammar, we could just kind of like learn more, and eventually we would be able to capture the grammar. But with the resources, if a language doesn't have much resources, then it would be really confusing to learn. So it's going to create a big hurdle. That's why with English, it's much easier because there are lots of resources for it.
Oke, jadi dia ngomong kenapa bahasa Inggris itu adalah bahasa yang paling mudah dipelajari sebenarnya gitu ya, sebagai bahasa asing. Karena bahasa itu digunakan oleh hampir semua orang di dunia gitu ya, jadi lingua franca gitu ya di seluruh dunia. Dan yang paling penting adalah karena itu jadi lingua franca atau bahasa yang dibicarakan oleh seluruh dunia, sumbernya banyak gitu ya. Jadi bisa belajar dari mana aja. Oke, bagus banget loh ini loh. Ini aku aja nggak kepikiran loh itu. But how when you terpapar, what terpapar in English?
Desperate.
Kapan pertama kalinya Deren terpapar dengan bahasa Inggris?
When was I influenced by English? So I was influenced by English since I was young, naturally, because we are living in a country where English is still like an important language to learn, alongside Japanese and maybe like French as a foreign language. I think those are really important as an Indonesian. When we play games, when we watch YouTube, when we watch cartoons, a lot of them are going to still be English. So personally, I was influenced by English. I think when I was like 11, it was when I was influenced by English the most. Because I was watching Minecraft playthroughs, Minecraft Skywars playthrough, and it's a game, by the way. So I was watching that, and then after like 9 months, after like playing in English, watching YouTube in English for hours on end, I was able to like understand at least like 80% of what I'm hearing, and I think it's at least like B2 level in English.
Okay.
Only through what we call it's kind of like the natural method to
Natural
learning,
method.
by watching YouTube, by playing it, and then speaking via chats in only in English, and by that I was able to learn the language.
Okay. The one of the factor when that make us can be more fluent in English is people who can talk with us in English, speak in English. But you have, like you said that here in Samarinda in Indonesia,
Endless exposure to English,
Yes.
endless exposure, endless talking in English,
Yes.
and eventually would get fluent.
So okay, you said that you are getting, terpapar dengan bahasa Inggris itu lebih banyak dari sumber-sumber like internet, game, and YouTube. Apakah there's other person? Apakah itu di rumah atau itu di sekolah, teman yang kemudian jadi like buddy with to practice your English?
Well, at the time when I was 11, 12, there's not really much people that I got to be around. Especially like in Indonesia, in Samarinda, there are not that much people who could speak English. And even if we could speak English, why would we? Because we are Indonesians, we could speak in Indonesian.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. There's no need.
Yeah,
But when I turned 15, like 16, obviously I went to SMA Negeri 3 Samarinda.
Okay.
And there we have a little club called the English Club, and there's also like the debate sector.
Okay.
Now, obviously, the debate sector is where we debate about a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And that's why I had got the broad idea, because this is a big circle. The debate circle is not just in Indonesia, but also throughout the world. So with that, I was able to try to connect with other debaters who are obviously in high school, from Pakistan, from America, from I think it was from Japan, from India, from Bangladesh, from all over the world, to speak and debate together. And to practice our debate skills and
Okay.
English skills, obviously.
Okay, so I can see that you were, there's kind of kenaikan. What is kenaikan? Semacam elevasi gitu, naik gitu ya.
Upgrade.
From the way you will learn English just for the conversation, and then the next level is you trying to get terlibat, involved in the debate club.
Yeah, to be.
What makes you still, still trying to get more understand, or you don't have to, right? You don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. But apa yang membuat kamu makin tertarik gitu?
Wait, what? English?
In
or-
English, and then go to the another level like debate or something.
Well, truth is, because my dream is to one day to be a diplomat.
Oh,
To be a diplomat, and to be a diplomat, I gotta have to learn lots of languages, English included. So I've been on my journey to increase my talents, and especially like debating and a lot of stuff that are going to be interconnected with being a diplomat. I think at least. So that's my plan, and that's why I'm doing all of this. But on top of that, it's also like my hobby to learn a language, especially foreign languages, besides English as well. And in
So there is another language.
and regional languages in Indonesia as well.
By far,
The hardest.
berapa bahasa yang sudah dipelajari?
Well, I haven't mastered any language. I don't think so. Because
Okay.
master is like a high standard.
Okay.
When you say master, it's not just like some average Joe in the street. No, it's a master of a language to the point where it's like a university person, where
Yeah.
you enroll in a university, maybe in an English degree or something. That's what it means to master a language. I do not master any of my language. I haven't even went to university.
But you can speak. in that language?
But yeah, you could say so. So as an example, I have been learning French. I have been
French.
learning German, which I have recently gotten my certificate of B1 in German. And then I've also been learning Malay. I've been learning Japanese, although that kind of failed. Because
Why?
Because the
It's harder.
kanjis,
It's harder.
I just don't like learning about writing systems, especially when they are like
But you watch
Yeah.
One Piece, right?
no,
No. Why?
not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Another anime?
Shinchan.
Shinchan. Shinchan is anime, right?
Yeah,
but it's not that interesting to you to learn.
No.
Because it's hard.
It's actually really interesting in that it's an isolated language. So, when we say in Indonesian that a language is serumpun,
Okay.
we say that it's related.
Ah.
So, as an example, Malay and Indonesian
Indonesia.
are both related. Now I say related because Indonesian does not come like from Malay.
Okay.
The same way that, as an example, English does not come from German. No, but they are related.
Yeah.
Which means that an ancient ancestor basically gave birth to both of these languages. So as an example with German, there was an old German. It's
Okay.
called Old German that gave birth to German and the modern English that we know today.
Oke, siap. Jadi
So-
sebenarnya terhubung gitu ya.
Yeah, but with Japanese, it's an isolate. Isolate. That means it's alone, without any kind of relations to other languages.
Nggak
So
ada
except-
reference gitu yang berhubungan ya.
Except if you count Okinawan as an example.
Ah,
But
okay.
this is because all of its partners, all of its friends, they are there already. They no longer exist. They are no longer spoken. That's why Japanese is an isolated language.
Oke.
And that's why the grammatical features are also really exponentials.
Okay. So beside you have you have experience to go abroad, like you said pergi ke Jerman, ya kan? Atau juga mungkin atau kelas debat di sekolah. Is there any friends that you maintain the communication in English by every day?
Not really, because with English and with the foreign languages, I get to meet new friends every day. It's more like that. So as an example, when I was in Germany, when I was studying there, I met some guy from Mexico. From Mexico, and I think his name was Miguel.
Miguel. Yeah.
Miguel. But yeah, he speaks German. He speaks
Okay.
a little bit of English, but he also speaks French.
Wow.
So I
Okay.
was talking to him in French the whole time there, and it was quite interesting. And that's how every day I get new friends, because we have so much in common
Okay.
when we speak the same language.
Okay. Give me a sentence in French.
Bah écoute, je peux pas le français,
I don't know what is this, bro.
mais quand quelqu'un parle français, on dirait oui, c'est
What
très
does that
français.
mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
When we speak French, people will say just like oui. That's
Okay.
really French,
Okay.
That's like the stereotypical sound.
Okay.
And yeah, it's funny. It's a really funny language.
Okay.
They've actually got Verlang.
Verlang. What does that mean?
It's kind of a slang. So if you speak Japanese, maybe in Bahasa Walikan.
Bahasa Walikan, okay.
It's in Malang.
Like in
I
Malang,
believe.
right? Yeah. Right.
So they swap their language.
Yes.
Now French also has that. So when they
Oh,
speak in slangs,
okay.
they just swap their language.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jadi ini informasi penting yang harus teman-teman tahu. Jadi kata Darren di bahasa Prancis itu ada slang. Ya, dia kayak bahasa Malang. Di Samarinda juga ada nih. Misalnya ngomong aku mau kasih contohnya agak serem ya. Katak misalnya. Katak tetap katak ya kalau dibalik ya. Siji. Apa ya biasanya ya yang gampang ya. Ya gitulah, pokoknya hurufnya dibalik gitu.
Syllables, isn't it?
Syllables,
The syllables.
syllables.
So in French, as an example, even like the name Verlang is a Verlang of Langberg.
Oke, Langberg.
Langberg means the
Oh,
reverse.
oke. Jadi hurufnya nggak harus dibalik ya, tapi
No,
syllablesnya.
yeah, the syllables.
Oh.
So as an example, la femme, femme,
Oke.
femme, F-E-M-M-E,
Oke.
F-M-M-E,
Oke.
feminin, kan? Femme, that means woman.
Okay.
But in Verlang, it will be meuf.
Meh. Oh, dibalik.
Meuf. And the younger generation,
Okay.
just a double Verlang. They do it twice. So from femme to
Okay.
meuf to femme.
Wow.
They did it twice.
Oke, jadi ada level-levelnya juga ya
Yeah.
berarti ya.
And speaking about French slangs, there's
Okay.
also like I forgot what it's called, but I think it was something like long javanais,
Long Javanya.
bahasa Jawa.
Oh,
That's
oke.
also a French slang. So if you know like Big Latin, they basically add like some extra syllables in every word, and they call it slang.
Oh, oke.
And I think they were doing it to like mimic Javanese people,
Oke.
but yeah, it's a kind of millennial things.
Ah.
Ya.
Ya. But gini dah, biar teman-teman juga bisa memahami apa yang kita obrolin. Ini ada apa ya namanya? Jadi kata Darren tadi di bahasa Prancis gitu ya. Pertama tadi ada yang bahasa balikan tuh, ya kan? Itu berarti millennials ya. Millennials do it.
Yeah, the millennials, the younger kids, the Gen
Okay.
Zs.
Okay, and then the Gen Z doing twice.
Yeah, the Gen Z are sometimes doing twice.
Or
And then-
maybe triple.
Yeah, maybe triple.
Jadi berdouble teman-teman. Jadi misalnya udah dibalik nih, dibalik lagi gitu ya. Dibolak-balik lagi gitu ya.
And there are also an old slang which is like long javanais, which is basically they are trying to mimic like the Japanese language by adding
Okay.
like some extra syllables
Okay.
in their language.
Oh, kayak bahasa Makassar ya berarti ya. Ada tambahan kata di belakang gitu ya.
The infixes.
Suffix,
They are adding some
suffix, infix. Ya,
infixes.
oke. Kalian harus nonton ini pelan-pelan. Oke. Selanjutnya gini, Darren. Aku pernah dengar satu kalimat yang ngomong gini bahwa learning English is just learning languages, you know. When you can speak in English doesn't mean that you are a scientist, right?
And
What do you think?
I know that's right.
What do you
'Cause
think?
Lots of people, millions of people, no, actually billions of people could
Okay.
speak English in Australia, in America, in the
Okay.
United States, in
Yeah.
Canada.
Yes.
But not every single one of them are scientists.
Right.
Not every single one of them has a job. Lots of
Right.
them are homeless, but they
Okay.
speak English. So what on earth are we going to do if we could
Yeah.
speak English as an Indonesian
Oke.
and we have to compete with natives?
Oh, siap.
So yeah, clearly it would not just make you a scientist.
Itu dia. Jadi ketika ada orang bisa berbahasa Inggris, bukan berarti dia jadi orang pinter gitu ya, jadi ilmuwan. Tapi kata Darren tadi, kalau kamu sebagai orang Indonesia bisa berbahasa Inggris, kemudian berkompetisi dengan orang yang memang native-nya Inggris, akan jadi lebih luar biasa gitu ya. Tadi bahas dong soal cita-cita jadi diplomat. Why did you pengen jadi diplomat? Siapa yang menginfluence? Siapa yang menginspirasi?
Well, there's this German guy called Otto von Bismarck.
German guy.
Otto von Bismarck.
Otto von Bismarck. Oke.
In German, it will be pronounced Otto von Bismarck.
Oke.
And he's not actually like a full-on diplomat, but he was a diplomat.
Oke.
So he managed to unify Germany
Oke.
just with diplomacy.
Oke. But before we terlalu jauh ya, why did you look so love? Why did you look so interesting with German?
Yeah. So
Why German?
So Germany is a really, really historical nation. When you
Okay.
think of historical figures, you think of Einstein.
Okay.
Not Einstein.
Einstein.
Einstein. Einstein. He's from Germany. When you
Okay.
think of, when you think of Mozart, he's from
Okay.
Germany, not from Austria.
Yeah.
And then you think of people like Hitler. Hitler is not from Germany actually. He's from Austria.
Tuh, teman-teman.
But yeah, it proves that Germany has a worldwide history. So as an example, when I was visiting Goslar, I've got a crown, and this is called the König Ludwig Corner.
What? Can you repeat it?
König
Kunis.
Corner.
What does that mean?
King Louis' crown.
Okay.
So this is one of the crown of the German king.
Okay.
No, he's not. It's not the king of Germany, because at that time Germany doesn't exist.
Okay.
At that time, it was the Holy Roman Empire,
Okay.
which was neither holy, neither Roman, nor an empire. It was not holy. It was not an empire.
Okay.
It was not Roman at all. It's German.
It's Germany.
It's German.
Okay. So You tell me the name. You name the name. Sorry, can you repeat it? The name,
Of what?
the diploma.
Otto von Bismarck.
Sejauh mana kamu mengetahui tentang tokoh itu, atau dari mana awalnya kamu tahu tokoh itu?
Honestly, from YouTube.
From
From YouTube.
from YouTube.
So I was watching some historical videos, and then I saw Otto von Bismarck on
Okay.
how he's just got such a huge weight and huge balls to unite Germany,
Okay.
and he was able to do so much things. And this guy is such a legend
Okay.
because you know the Great War, the First World
Great
War.
Wall, West.
Yeah, when he was deposed by his Kaiser, his Kaiser said to him, "Okay, you go out." He said to the Kaiser, "Watch me. In 20 years, 6 months, and this day, a war will break out over stupid things in the Balkans." He made that
Okay.
prediction, and then guess what?
It
20
happened.
years again, it happened.
It happened.
The Great War
Wow.
happened, and the
Wow.
Kaiser
Wow.
was deposed because of that.
Oke, wow. Jadi Darren terinspirasi oleh satu tokoh yang namanya siapa tadi?
Otto von Bismarck.
Otto von Bismarck. Itu dia adalah salah satu tokoh yang ada di Jerman sana. Nanti kalian cari sendiri lah ya. Oke. Next question. Why we put this couple's book here? Because you telling me that you love to read, right?
Yeah, that's
So from this couple books, I will asking you about this because is there's not a lot of Gen Z, or maybe you're Alpha, right?
no Gen Z.
You're Gen Z, right?
Gen Z.
Not much Gen Z love to speak or to try and understand about the history.
Yeah.
And then you read this book, Sukarno, an autobiography by Cindy Adams.
Yeah, so
Why?
it's actually quite a funny story, because Sukarno doesn't really want to make a biography.
Okay.
Because you gotta understand his viewpoint. He was a quite unpopular leader to the Western world. Sorry, what? To the Western world.
What's the word?
And so when he wanted to make a biography, he's really scared that people will misrepresent him,
Misinterpretation.
and
Okay.
that's why. Gak bisa lihat 10 minutes.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. He trying to telling me it's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Go
And
on.
so, since he was really like paranoid that he doesn't want to be misrepresented, he tried to pick the best journalists to write about his autobiography. And obviously, he picked Cindy Adams here.
Adams.
Somehow, Cindy Adams has managed to convince the president to write his biography, to write his autobiography.
Okay.
It was really shocking. It was really legendary, and even like the ones who published it, it's quite an legendary film as well. It's Bukit Agung, I believe.
Okay. So, in what age you read this book?
6 months ago, I think.
6 months ago.
Yeah,
So it's a new.
yeah, quite new, but I've already forgotten a lot of
Okay.
things.
So tell me the fact that maybe not much people know about Sukarno in this book.
When he was born, he was called the son of dawn.
Oh, okay.
The son of dawn. So, Putra Senja.
Putra Senja.
Because he believed that because he was born in Java,
Okay.
where people are still like quite ritualistic, where people still where the people still have like ritualistic beliefs and
Okay.
common folk
Okay.
beliefs. Now, when he was born, it was at dawn, so he was named the son of dawn.
Son of Dawn.
And then the mothers believe that whenever people get born at dawn, it means that they're going to become great leaders in the future.
And that's
So
really
it's like
happened.
a child of prophecy.
Okay. So maybe in Bahasa it called Putra Sang Fajar, right? Or
Sang
it's
Putra
different?
Fajar.
Sang Putra Fajar. Kebetulan adalah kameramen kita. Oke, itu fakta yang menarik ya. Jadi ada di buku ini. So when you finish this,
I think it was
what?
5 months ago.
5 months.
Before I went to Germany.
Oh, oke. Apakah kamu tertarik untuk membaca biografi Sukarno yang lain?
I haven't read them actually.
Belum ada ya?
No, I haven't read any other Sukarno's autobiography, but I think I should go read them.
Apakah kamu cuma suka sama Cindy Adamnya atau sama tokoh yang dibiografikan?
Well, you could see the other selections of books here, because it's all history, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all of them are history, particularly about Indonesia, so about rebellions.
Okay.
And this one's an outlier, because this one's actually about the Mongols, so it's kind of like a medieval history.
Oke. Oke, jadi memang tertarik sama history.
Yeah,
Oh, oke, sorry.
among other things.
Oke. Nah, kenapa tadi pertanyaan belum terjawab? Kenapa seorang Gen Z perlu atau tertarik sama sejarah?
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's
Show
like,
me. Which part of history that it's fun?
well, as an example, when we are talking about let's say history,
Okay.
there are also like history that will make you like, what the heck just happened?
Okay.
Did this really happen? Like, as an example, when I say about Germany,
Okay.
do you know that there was a republic of Nazi Germany in
Okay.
Indonesia?
No.
No, because there was something called the Freie Nias Republik.
Nias. Okay.
So it's a German republic in Nias. So what happened was there were
What
lots
time
of
is it?
during World War II.
World War II.
World War II.
Wow.
So when the Dutch are fighting the Germans, they
Okay.
capture lots of Nazis, and these
Oh.
Nazis they're being exiled to Nias
Okay.
to be imprisoned there.
Yeah.
But obviously they broke away. So they broke away. They took over the entirety of
Wow.
Nias, and then they proclaimed the
The Republic.
Freie Republik Nias, the Free Nias Republic.
Wow, ini ada di buku yang mana?
Not here.
Oh, not here.
Here, actually.
Can you name the book?
No, it was actually from the internet, but there was some reference to it. You could see like on the news as well.
Okay.
Freie Republik Nias, just tried searching for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously it doesn't last long.
Is it legit?
Yeah,
or
it's actually legit.
or just the mythos?
No, it's not me, because it's legit. They got their own prime minister, but it
Okay.
only lasts for like 2 months before the Japanese came.
Oke. Nih teman-teman, ini info baru lagi. Jadi kata Darren tadi, ini aku tadi tanya kenapa Gen Z mau belajar sejarah, karena ternyata menyenangkan. Aku tanya tadi, mana bagian menyenangkannya? Gitu ya. Dia bilang ternyata kita bisa mengetahui sesuatu yang ternyata zaman dulu itu ada loh hal-hal yang bisa mengejutkan kita. Salah satunya adalah tadi ada Republik Jerman ya.
Nias Merdeka.
Republik Nias Merdeka di Jerman. Di Nias, bro. Itu sekitar tahun it's 1940, right? 1940, right?
Ya, 1940.
Sekitar 1940 ada di Nias. Dan itu bisa tahu karena dengan belajar sejarah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I think like the discrepancy between like the history that people are learning outside and the history that people are learning in Indonesia is very significant.
Okay.
So as an example, in Indonesia, when we learn about history, we learn about colonialism.
Oke.
So we
Selalu
learn
ya,
about
selalu
how
ya.
we fought against the Dutch and the revolution and done.
Is it
well-
not good with in your opinion?
So well, as an example, we live in Borneo.
Ya.
What was the oldest republic in Asia?
I could say Langfang.
Yes, Langfang Republic. But
Langfang.
we learn about Langfang Republic
Yes.
in Borneo in our school?
No, of course.
No. So so even though the oldest republic of Asia is located in Indonesia, in
Indonesia.
Borneo no
Even
less,
in Borneo.
no one in Borneo knows about Langfang Republic.
Ya. Oke.
So it's like why?
So-
It's such an interesting bit of history that we are not getting to learn. So why?
Can I say that you trying to say that the school is scam?
What?
The school is scam?
The school what?
It's scam.
No. No, I just
The history teacher is not good.
I just pity that we do not learn about
okay.
history about like the Langfang Republic and the
Okay.
swords, and instead we just delve more and more into colonialism stuff.
Okay,
Because
okay.
obviously like we could just separate it. So like we'll
Okay.
learn about the Langfang Republic in which grade, and then colonialism on that grade,
Oke.
or anything like that.
Jadi menurut Darren tadi sebenarnya di sekolah itu harusnya yang dipelajari adalah yang paling tidak bisa membangkitkan ini ya.
Yeah, because that's also like a sense of nationalism. So you know?
Ya.
That's a sense of patriotism.
Betul.
That could inflict patriotism, not just that we suffer the same fate,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but we
yeah.
also great people.
150 years gitu-gitu ya, selalu gitu
Before
kan.
the Europeans came to Africa, as an example, a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
people were already in Madagascar.
Oh iya betul betul.
Because so yeah, that's also one of the language that I want to learn, Malgache. I think in their language it's like Malgache.
Malagasy.
Malagasy. And it's also a really cool language because it's actually from the people of Borneo.
From the people of Borneo.
So the Dayaks,
Okay.
the Dayaks that used to live in southern Borneo,
Yeah.
I think they were like Maanyan or something.
Manyan.
The Maanyan, they went to
To
set
the
sail
Madagascar
to Madagascar, and that's why the Madagascar language is kind of similar
with the
with
Dayak.
it's also like related, you know.
Oh, related. Okay.
So we go back with the
But sorry.
relation stuff.
They look like not Dayak. Like, you know.
No, because obviously they have been mixed with a lot of African people with the Bantu. With
yeah.
the Bantu people, like so basically the same people like in
Yeah.
like the Swahili people, they are the Bantus
Swahili,
as well.
okay.
So they have been intermixed. So the language has been mixed as well.
Oke. Dari mana kamu dapat info-info ini, Daren?
Lots of stuff. From the internet,
From the internet.
books, lots of
Oke.
stuff.
So, itu adalah keuntungan dengan mengetahui atau menguasai bahasa Inggris tadi ya? Karena informasi itu banyak ditulis dalam bahasa Inggris gitu. Atau gimana menurut Daren?
Yeah, obviously, lots of informations that we couldn't get in Indonesian, we could get in English or even in other languages. Because obviously, each language, social media has different word view on stuffs.
Oke.
So as an example, on tragedy, sorry. As an example, there was once like this video of like a Chinese person
Oke.
being like mocked
Mocking.
by like the netizens
Okay.
because he was arrested in America,
Okay.
in the United States, but
Yeah.
he cannot speak English. So the Chinese
Ah.
citizens were like angry at him because he doesn't speak English.
Oke.
That's their worldview.
Itu represent Chinese.
Yeah, the Chinese media were mad at him, but when we check the English media, they were angry at the cop.
Ah.
Because this person doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Why the heck are you trying to speak English with him?
Lucu banget.
So, like-
aku nggak usah translate bagian ini biar aja. Oke. Terus.
So the worldview is really different. Like the one is fact setting on English is important. You come to another country and you don't speak it. Why? That's
Yeah,
the Chinese
yeah.
worldview. And in the English worldview, he doesn't speak English. Why on earth is the cop forcing him to speak English?
Iya betul.
So different worldview that you wouldn't even expect.
Itu dia. Tapi bergeser ke soal ini tadi ya, kembali ke belajar bahasa. Salah satu yang membuat orang kita agak berat untuk belajar adalah we have accent, right? When I'm trying to speak in English, there's always left my accent. You know, I'm Japanese, so there's always like a word or syllables that I speak. You know, it shows my accents, and then some people or some people will ashamed about that. How you manage? Do you have an
yeah.
accent?
I mean, obviously everyone has an accent.
Okay.
Even native English speakers from America
Have an accent.
I ain't gonna lie, but that's their
Yes.
accent.
Uh-huh.
So what's an accent actually? An accent is when we put a language phonemes and sounds to another language.
Okay.
So as an example, in English we don't have the R sound like we do in Indonesian.
Yeah.
Rapi, rap,
Okay.
serang. That we don't have that R sound.
Yeah.
So when English people try to speak in Indonesian, they try to
Replicate.
replicate it,
Yeah.
but they can't because they don't have it in their language.
Yeah.
So they say something like serang.
Yeah. Okay.
So they don't have it. Also with vowels as well, because
Okay.
they don't really have. Because they do have short vowels, but they usually elongate their vowels. So when they say serang, they don't say serang. They
Okay.
say serang. The A is kind of elongated there. So that's why we have accents, and obviously accents is quite solvable by listening. So when you watch YouTube, when you are
Watch movie.
exposed to the languages that you are learning, you could mimic the accent from time to time, and it's a gradual process as well.
How long? I mean, ideal time.
It depends on each person. Because I could be listening to, as an example, contents that, let's say, cartoon, basic stuff. Maybe I'll get better by watching cartoon, but other
Okay.
people will say stuff like stuff like podcasts which
Okay.
have higher dictions and stuff.
Okay.
So it really depends on the person and what kinds of content they are watching. But generally, having an accent and having a proficiency is not connected. So as an example, we have English proficiency test,
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
German proficiency test. Accents does not matter in there. Accents do not matter.
Okay.
What matters is the grammar. So you could be
Ah.
speaking like with a Japanese accent just opposed bit in English, and it'll be fine. You could still be fluent just with an accent. It doesn't matter.
Jadi yang penting ngomongnya bener gitu ya.
Yeah, with the
It
grammar.
doesn't matter if you have like Jowo, like
Yeah.
Kutainis or
As
like
long as you
Daiknis.
could be understood, it's alright. At least that's the
Ah.
the descriptive view of it.
Okay, so by far you can speak like in France, in Germany, of course in English, and then you're trying to speak in Japanese. But did you still, using your culture languages like Kutai or Banjar?
So funny thing is that I actually really love regional languages. Basically, I have been learning Banjaris. I mean, it's my native language as well.
Okay.
And then I've been trying to learn Kutainis. I've been trying to learn Acehnis. And I think I'm like B2 in Acehnis now.
Aceh.
Acehnis. So it's quite far from Borneo.
It sounds like France, right? It's kinda. It's
No,
not-
no. Actually, its closest relative is in Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam.
So many Acehnis words are monosyllables. Monosyllabic.
Okay.
So monosyllabic. So like tang, tang, the, yo. Those are monosyllabic words in Aceh.
Okay. There's te, right?
Ta, urung, gata, gata.
Okay. Can
watay.
you tell me a sentence in Aceh?
Bagata jiyawate.
Apa artinya?
Time is moving really fast.
Oh, apa bagata?
Bagata.
Bagata.
Jijawate.
Jejak. Oke.
Wate.
Banyak banget ya. Oke. What about Banjar? You said that Banjar is one of your
Yeah.
your mother language,
Yeah.
right? Did you still using the languages in your home?
I mean, obviously, like since we are speaking, since we are living in Samarinda,
Right.
there are lots of Banjaris words that we are using that we don't even know they were Banjaris. So,
Iya,
as an
betul.
example, when we are speaking, we might say that, hey, it turns out that we say sekalinya,
Sekalinya. Oh, iya,
sekalinya.
iya.
That's not Indonesian.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
Indonesian,
yeah.
sekalinya means when I.
Ah.
So, as an example,
Yeah, yeah.
sekalinya dia makan, saya pergi.
Ya.
But that's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Banjaris. When it turns out, but sekalinya that's from Banjaris.
Ya.
And we don't know that it's from Banjaris.
Iya. Jadi ada kata-kata yang memang sebenarnya udah jadi kayak bahasa Banjar yang khas gitu ya.
Ya.
Dan itu masih Darren pakai.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, oke, terakhir Darren kasih teman-teman yang di luar sana yang lagi belajar bahasa asing apapun bahasanya gitu ya. Mungkin bahasa Navi, do you know bahasa Navi? Navi languages?
Okay, that's a conlang.
Nah.
So a conlang it's different from an art lang.
Okay.
From a natural lang.
Oke.
So as an example, German, Indonesian, English, and all the language you can name,
Okay.
those are created naturally,
Oke.
not by construction.
Ya.
Just Navy, Esperanto, and all of the languages are constructed languages, which
Okay.
means that they were made from scratch by like one man or a
Yeah.
team.
Ya. But you know about
Yeah.
it. You
No.
ever learn about it?
No, I haven't learned.
No. But you know.
I'm not really a fan of constructed languages.
But Navi is good. Navi is one of my favorite. But I can't speak Navi. But lanjut tadi, kasih motivasi teman-teman penonton Korkal Siniar dimanapun berada yang lagi belajar bahasa. Gimana caranya supaya tetap tetap keep on track, tidak dan bisa menemukan banyak hal-hal baru seperti yang ditemukan oleh Darren.
Yeah, so learning a language is a gradual process. It's not like we'd be able to learn a language in 3 months. It'll take 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, but one day we will reach it. So we just have to climb on. That's all.
Itu dia. Artinya cari sendiri nanti ya. Terima kasih teman-teman, terima kasih Darren sudah ngobrol-ngobrol. Jangan. jangan. Mau cium tangan dia. Terima kasih Darren udah berbagi cerita. Jadi Darren adalah salah satu anak Kalimantan Timur, anak Samarinda yang punya keingintahuan yang luar biasa gitu ya. Tadi ketika aku nanya soal bahasa Nafi, itu adalah salah satu pengetahuanku yang paling dalam tuh. Jarang banget orang yang tahu bahasa Nafi, dan dia tahu. Wih, keren itu. Ya, dan dia tahu Republik Langfang, dia tahu, bahkan dia ngasih tahu tadi kita ada Republik Jerman ya di Nias.
Kayak Republik Nias.
Itu adalah sebuah info baru, pengetahuan baru buat teman-teman. Jadi terima kasih teman-teman sudah menonton dari awal sampai akhir. Jangan lupa untuk ikuti informasi terbaru dan teraktual yang ada di Koran Kaltim yang terbit setiap hari Senin sampai dengan Sabtu, atau baca juga media online kami di www.korankaltim.com, seputarfakta.com, dan pusaranmedia.com. Teman-teman ikuti juga Instagram kami karena ada informasi lainnya terkait dengan ulang tahun Koran Kaltim yang ke-19 ya, yang akan dilaksanakan pada bulan November. Jadi teman-teman ikutin karena banyak kegiatan menarik di sana. Terima kasih. Nama saya Rusdi pamit. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you ya. Mantep. Jangan salib. Jadi awkward kalau salib. Jadi awkward. Oh iya.